Dalam BuzzPOP hari ini, kita bakal membincangkan tentang My Hero Academia Season 5, episod 14. Oh, 14. Okay, so para panelis kita malam ini terdiri daripada saya, Nadzru Iskandar daripada BuzzPopTV. Kaki anime kita, Shazli American. What's up, bro?
Yo!
Serta kaki manga kita, Anri Alwi. Hey, dude. Hey, man.
Ohayo.
Ohayo. Okay,
Ohayo.
so...
Bangun ke?
Ohayo pagi. Ohayo selamat pagi.
It's morning somewhere.
It's morning somewhere. Okay lah, so kita akan memulakan perbincangan kita hari ini dengan reaksi satu ayat. Alright, so reaksi satu ayat aku, a new arc begins. Apakah reaksi satu ayat kau, Syah? Silakan.
Konspirasi macam-macam tu. There's aku ingatkan Hawks ni was just a budak handsome at first. Masa the previous season, and now it's like
Yeah, man. It looks like he is hero number 1. Bukan dia hero number 2 tu. Silakan Anri.
The plot thickens.
Cantik. Yeah. Alright, so judul episod minggu ini adalah Off to Endeavour's Agency, di mana subplot penting untuk second core musim kelima serta pemain-pemain baru diperkenalkan. So, apakah pendapat korang tentang this new beginning ataupun second arc dalam season 5 ini? Tell us in the comment section below. Okay, dengan itu kita akan ke 5 babak menarik daripada episod minggu ini. So, jom kita mulakan. Alright, so babak menarik kita pertama adalah the new opening and closing theme song di mana kita bakal membedah lagu pembuka dan penutup second core musim kelima. Pada aku personally, opening dan closing theme song untuk second core musim kelima ini tidaklah serancak first core. Sekiranya opening dan closing theme song first core adalah 100% slice of life, namun untuk second core ni ia lebih dipenuhi babak-babak simbolik. Ada burung helang terbang lah, tiba-tiba ada budak tengah main dengan patung lah. Simbolik gila tu. So penuh dengan clue-clue tersirat kalau korang boleh tengok dekat overlay, dekat aku nak point ni. Dekat overlay di situ aku ada 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 12 gambar which are quite spoilery of what is to come in this second core. So soalan aku kepada para panelis, apakah pendapat anda tentang opening dan closing theme song bagi second core musim kelima? Siapakah watak-watak baru yang didedahkan dalam lagu pembuka ni? Kalau kau nampak the 1, 2, 3, 4 fourth from the top right, yang ada satu group shot tu, adakah ini ahli-ahli tertinggi Metal Liberation Army? Juga berdasarkan lagu penutup daripada second from the top right, adakah Childhood Hawks berkait dengan hero number 1 Endeavour? Pasal mula-mula nampak macam bare feet on concrete, kemudian kau nampak ada Endeavour punya toy ataupun, and then there's a small hand holding it, and then the next thing you see is like Childhood Hawks. Aku macam what the fuck? So, apakah pendapat korang? Kita mulakan dengan Shaz. Silakan Shaz.
First of all, aku surprised you chose the music as a opening theme. Memang kalau you nak compare, the first core is very exciting. Macam, we're going to have a lot of fighting and everything. Now it's like, we are moving to a very heavy punya part of the storyline. So, hopefully, our younger fans will still be able to follow lah portion ni. Okay.
Hopefully.
We look from the, aku selalu confuse overlay ni tau. Macam like, is it this one? Lepas tu jari terbalik. So this is part of the fun. Okay, kita talk about this one first. This one, aku rasa this is menerangkan pasal Hawks masa dia muda. Dia memang ada cakap he viewed Endeavour as a hero sejak dari dia kecil in one of the previous episodes. So that one aku rasa is not so much on there is
Spoiler.
hidden agenda or story kan, but it's more like his childhood was quite broken. Dia macam Michael Jackson tau. Kalau kita ingat cerita Michael Jackson ni, masa dia kecil kan dia selalu disuruh menyanyi, menari dengan abang dia, childhood and everything. So that Endeavour toy is probably the only toy that he had.
Oh. And Hawks is often kan taken in by the commission or the government, right?
Tak silap aku, yes. So that's why the commission has dia ada macam greater control over him lah. Sebab they are using his how is it? Dia punya terasa termakan budi, apa was the term again?
Terhutang budi ya.
Terhutang budi. Alah, BM aku sayur betul. So they are using that part, and the fact that he doesn't really care for dia punya fame and name. Dia is a bit like the MCU punya LOKI tau. Dia punya dalam dia lain, kat luar dia lain. So it's quite interesting.
Yes.
Siapa mamat hidung panjang ni aku tak sure, but I'm pretty sure is this guy over here.
Yeah.
So my opinion, aku rasa they are part of the new meta. Sebab you tengok the guy in the black suit yang paling depan sekali in that panel.
Yeah.
That is most likely the guy who was commenting dalam that scene Hawks dengan si hero yang
sliding glow ya.
Sliding glow. Notice that slide and glow was there as well in the previous episode.
Yeah.
So that was probably part of their own punya testing on the response time, on the police punya patrol and everything.
So like the wet
bandits show up.
The wet bandits is part of the Meta Liberation Army.
Not so much. Aku rasa the wet bandits were unwitting pawns lah. They wanted to test certain things. So if you notice this, I like these two panels that you post here. Because this is the two groups that Hawks is infiltrating at the same time.
Yes.
I was surprised when you put it down like, ni also kotik lah sebab menunjukkan you are somebody who can pandai cari isi tersirat.
Aku play at like half speed, okay? Especially ada part song tiba-tiba macam go. Macam kimak kau buat 4 lagu, 4 picture in the same lyric like go. Aku macam janganlah babi.
Itulah.
Susah gila nak screen capture. But it's a lot of Easter eggs, man.
But I think lah, my initial teori Brazil lah kan, from this point to this point, kita akan nampak Hawks akan berjaya infiltrate, but he's going to suffer a lot for it. That means dalam one of the songs ending ke in opening, dia ada cakap pasal betrayal.
Yang tu aku tak masuk lirik lagi because aku tak tahu Japanese, so dia tak translate. So
aku mengharapkan subtitle tu betul lah kan. So
okay.
Kalau katakan it involves betrayal, he will try to play both of these groups against each other because he needs a lot of information. So he's probably going to feed information from A to B to C. So dia akan melompat lah. But ultimately, aku rasa semua akan betray dia and the commission akan fail him. That is my theory Brazil. Based
so
on
dia macam double agent tapi betrayed on both sides.
Tak, dia triple agent. He is the full-time hero with the commission. He is trying to break into the League of Villains, and he is also part of the Meta Liberation. Remember dia bagi buku tu.
Yes.
Actually fulfills the requirements of these guys. I'm teaching everybody, it's a new way of thinking and everything. It's actually part of their own agenda. So that's why dia kena monitor and everything kan. He can do that because he's spreading our agenda. So it's nothing wrong. That was the only way dia boleh bagi the coded message dalam buku tu.
And
Anyway,
then
aku
what's
dah
up with that doomsday sequence on the top right kalau kau nampak? At the
Tu.
beginning lepas dah macam group of heroes, tiba-tiba macam ada doomsday, semua orang tengah sedih. What the fuck?
Ni,
Yang atas sekali tu.
my personal guess, that is when the betrayal happens lah. The actual, sebab dia orang ni akan serang tau.
Wow. Macam
So whether
apocalypse tu, macam apocalypse gila
Kan?
babi tu.
Tak, aku rasa this one is symbolic je. It won't be that bad. But the impact most likely will be very bad for this guy here lah. Because one of these groups will take action, menyebabkan this guy kena expose. So it feels like this is the aftermath lah.
The question is, adakah Dabi in league with Shigaraki? Because League of Villains is under Shigaraki, right? But those group with Dabi are Dabi punya villains, is it? Ke apa? Aku macam tak follow.
Tak, yang sekarang ni, the one that you can see on the left at this row ni, that is the core members of League of Villains.
And Dabi.
And Dabi lah. Dabi is part of League of Villains, the core group. Dalam season 2 ke Anri? 2 or 3 when they first form?
I think we saw the first glimpse of the group in season 2 kat silap.
Aku dah banyak cakap dah, bagi Anri cakap pula.
Okay, so Anri sebagai pembaca manga, adakah kau inwardly ketawa dengan spekulasi liar oleh Shaz dan aku yang tak membaca manga ni?
Teori manga ni.
Some of it hit, some of it is miss lah. Okay, I don't want to spoil because if I do say a lot, mungkin it's going to be very spoilery to say the least lah. But as far as the song goes, right, it's called. I'm not a big fan of the opening and closing song for this particular version. The previous version, I like it a little better, but I'm not a big fan of it. I always believe in shonen animes like this, right? Like My Hero Academia, even One Piece, right? The first and closing, the first opening and the first closing was the trademark and the best for the series so far. So this thing is okay to me. Like, I can go, I'll skip it and go ahead to the story when it comes to the openings and closing songs. And as for Hawks, I can go in some detail about Hawks. Hawks is basically someone who was picked by the committee to become a hero. He was groomed. We saw in this episode, right, that when he went to meet before he went to meet the Slide Go and that guy with the laptop yang monitor dia punya tu, we found out that badan Hawks kan, the committee put a lot of tracking devices, listening, monitoring semua. And and he flew before he went to the place, right? He flew above the clouds, where communications kan yang perlu track dia kan is only exclusive to the committee tau. So he was talking to the committee first before dia pergi dekat Slide and Go and that black guy, the guy in black. And from there we found out that from this scene, right, Slide Go was actually a traitor amongst the heroes tau. Remember when he said, "Oh, you may be the second hero, but I'm higher ranking than you," which means that in that particular circle, right? In that particular circle, kan, Hawks is the newbie. He's trying to get into Shigaraki's and Dabi punya fold tau. So we know Slide and Go, even though his doki is very nice dengan masa White Bandits kena tangkap dengan Bakugo dengan Shoto, we know he's a double agent or at least a traitor who's working maybe for the League of Villains or maybe for this meta community society. It's one of those. Okay, so he's not loyal to the hero society. And the guy yang kat black tu, he probably knows all about the Hawks punya function on the device. He's probably part of the committee, but he's also serving at least Dabi at this moment tau. So we know from this fact that Dabi has his own crew, own circle, and his alliance with Shigaraki is a mutual cooperation because they are aligned at this particular point in time. Maybe down the road, maybe he'll become loyal to Shigaraki, maybe he'll branch off and do his own thing, or become enemies and destroy everyone. Who knows? I don't want to go into spoilers. Yeah, but now we see the dynamics of the villains. They don't trust anyone, but they are smart about it. We saw the man in black with the laptop. Dia kata, "Oh, I saw you when you before you come in. You were buying coffee. You were you were you were trying to choose either the sweet or unsweetened one. Whatever it is,
Gila
or
tu. Monitoring dia
gila.
sampai level 2 tu ya. Gila
Yeah,
mati.
and credit to Hawks. At least Hawks kan know dia punya machine kan. Dia kata, okay, if I travel at this height, maybe the electrical waves, the communication waves doesn't reach me, so I can at least talk to the committee when I'm near macam the satellite or whatever it is lah, dia punya scientific
Makes sense.
punya reasoning. Yeah.
Yeah. The stratosphere lah, basically the 7 layers, so he go higher lah.
Yeah, and the black guy can only track him upper below the clouds, something like that.
Yeah.
So
That's cool. Aku tak perasan tu. That's a very nice point, man.
Yeah. And about Hawks punya childhood, he was not born an orphan. He was made an orphan. A lot of things happened, and the committee took advantage of it for him to be part in the project. And as far as dia punya connection dengan Endeavor, I think we've talked about this before. He relates more to Endeavor than All Might. Everyone loves All Might because he's perfect, but because of Hawks punya childhood, dia punya background, things that he's facing through, and Endeavor is more of a villain than a hero in view, and lots of flaws. He's very violent, doesn't go well with the public. People doubt him. Hawks probably feel that people around him doubts him, even the committee. So he relates more to Endeavor than All Might. So that's why he puts him on the pedestal instead of All Might. Excuse me.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Soalnya aku ingat semua orang pun suka All Might. So it's pretty cool to see somebody that love the number 2, which is now number 1. Alright, so kita ada beberapa komen dari penonton di rumah. Pertama, Khalid Paul mengatakan, the new theme song for Tokyo 2020. Huh? Is this song by Man with a Mission the theme song for Olympics 2020? Tak sure. Tell us more, Khalid Paul.
Fact check lah that one.
Apa dia?
Yang tu kena fact check lah. Aku tak ada info langsung.
Betul. Okay, seterusnya Mofah mengatakan, hello guys, no time no see. Lama tak jumpa. What's up Mofah? And then dia mengatakan, dah nak masuk arc yang intense dah ni. Fuh.
Nick, kau perasan tak? Mofa is on the spoiler, is on the tu.
It's on the what?
Is on the overlay.
Yeah, unfortunately that's how it works. Kalau aku click on the comment.
tak. Dia punya karakter icon dia tu.
Oh yeah.
Kan?
Jahat. Seterusnya Iqbal Lee mengatakan, aku lagi suka OP baru ni dari yang first. Lagipun dari one of my favorite Japanese rock band, Man with a Mission. Untuk seorang noob, OP ni apa ya? Kalau anybody can explain to me. Opening theme song, is it? Opening, yeah. Okay.
OPED, opening ending.
Oh, so dia pendekkan jadi OP dengan ED. Nice.
Yeah. Voice ending ni lah. Tapi kalau dekat komen forum semua ni, OP is opening poster. So kau jangan tersilap pula.
Yang tu lain lah. Itulah. So by the way, Man with a Mission, have they done a song for My Hero Academia before, or this is their first time?
I'm not that deep into it. So aku first time dengar the group punya name.
At least dia orang ada English punya sentences sikit lah. Feel lah. You know. Seterusnya, are you okay, Anri?
Yeah, I'm just under my aircon.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had to turn off my kipas as well. Pasal sejuk. Next, Mofah mengatakan dalam OP dia banyak gila benda dia tunjuk. Macam maybe dia akan masuk juga awal kepada arc yang akan ada masa season akan datang. What is this arc that Mofah is talking about? Anri? Is he talking about the Metal Liberation Army?
I think it's probably the villain focus arc, something like that.
Oh,
But we're on the way to a more deeper, serious, darker route for the series lah. This is where it starts, and thankfully, everything starts to get worse for the heroes and better for us as the viewers lah.
nice. Cantik. So,
Dia
kita
jadi
kena tunggu. Silakan Syaz.
Dia jadi macam ni Harry Potter Harry Potter book 4.
Oh, after Azkaban.
Tiba-tiba
Ambil Azkaban, Dementors everywhere.
You can make a comparison to that, yeah. The shit is going to hit the fan really soon, and a lot of people are going to be covered with that shit. So you see the gambar apocalypse type near image tu. Yeah. It's not metaphoric. It's going to happen like that. Oh, that spoiler.
Nice. Macam ni lah bang nak. Apocalypse to the hero society. So basically apa yang Stain minta will come true lah.
Yeah.
itulah. Aku rasa Meta Society tu got traction bila Stain punya story got broadcasted and everything. So mungkin some of the lesser heroes which are misguided or mungkin like gentle criminal kan, gentleman criminal tu, dia macam like, wah, all this time apa yang aku buat sebenarnya, you know. So they went to this group, so there might be some traitor heroes, there might also be some misguided heroes. So there's actually going to be a lot of casualty tak pasal-pasal tau.
Interesting. Aku rasa kita akan bincangkan tentang Stain in a few segments from now.
Yeah, and before we continue, right, let us focus to one thing, something very interesting. We know All for One is incarcerated, dah ketangkap dah. We know Stain ketangkap, and we know yang Muscle Guy tu tangkap, a lot of villains ketangkap by the All Might, Deku semua. But we never see them being brought to court tau. Because of for some reason the committee tak kasih mereka have the day in court, because when they try to defend themselves, get the coverage, takut apa the traction gets more. So I think that plays. So I think that's why kan we're going to see a lot of villains who may be macam slide and go, who macam, okay, I'm a hero, but I see this thing happen, it's not fair. I mean, the law says that once you are captured, you have a chance to defend yourself in the court of law. That's part of a lot of constitution in the country itself. But we don't see it here right now. So a lot of people become traitors, become villains, not because of personal benefit, personal profit, maybe because of just ideals. It's not justice. Not justice.
Yes.
You're living in a world with fake justice.
Correct. That's interesting. Maksudnya the Meta Liberation Army will grow bigger with both sides, heroes and villains. That's nice. Okay, seterusnya Mofa menambah, maybe dia akan buat akhir kepada season ini tergantung dan tunggu season depan gitu. Sebab banyak sangat ditunjuk masa OP, macam terlampau banyak nak cover untuk half the season dan Iqbali menambah bahawa Endeavour Agency arc is only 12 chapters sedangkan My Villain Academia adalah 23 chapter. Wow. So macam mind blown.
That means I think then I faham lah maksud Mofa tu. That means dia orang combinekan these two storylines, they put together. So it's going to be like dia akan ambil some of the action scene from Endeavour punya arc and then the MVA punya arc put together in this season, so that instead of one season you have all the story action. Now there's going to be a lot of action as well, and then for the next season there'll be another batch of ongoing season and action dengan storyline,
Subplots ongoing subplots.
So they merge it together lah.
Nice. Then Iqbali mengatakan double door, be ready. What the hell is a double door? Anri? Is that double a door? Typo ke apa tu? Double door.
I think I know what he's talking about. But
Ni macam
Let's say
adakah Iron Man abang Robocop? What the fuck is Dumbledore?
Tak, itu dia hint tu, dia bagi hint tu.
Yes.
Iqbal ni dia tengah memberi dalam apa? Dia tengah jaga hati kita tau. Dia tahu dia boleh bagi spoiler tapi dia bagi abang Syaz chance untuk di-spoilkan betul-betul. Nah. After that 4 episode later, Syaz, kau ingat tak gambar ni Syaz? Double door. Oh, I see.
Kemudian Arif Fikri Arifuddin bertanya, yang ni adakah art ini tentang support organisation? Will the support organisation be involved? The one that was in the news, Anri.
the one in the news.
This company is now entering the support organization industry.
Okay. The villain society is being led by someone who focus more on, nak kata he's a hardened battle type is not right. He is more or less like those scientist types.
You're talking about the guy with the long nose.
Could be, yeah, because I know him as a scientific guy. He heads macam some of a big corporation now, and he's in charge of this meta society against the hero society lah. He will have a lot of people under him yang betul-betul macam heavyweights in terms of power. But without getting spoiler, we discussed last week, right? That I said that All for One has a lot of people under him aside from Shigaraki. He's one of them, and he leads his own cohorts, minions organization now. So the villain arc will show that Shigaraki will come to contact with this particular person and wants them to either cooperate with him or be under him, and you will see this guy can try to test Shigaraki.
Nice.
Yeah.
So this guy is more like a Lex Luthor punya type lah, brains over brawn lah.
Yeah. He cannot alone turn a city up and over, but he has the resources, charisma, manpower to do so. So he's more like a support type behind the what you call that, the battle behind the battle lines. He's more of a general type.
Interesting. So,
dia macam ni kot. Hammer daripada MCU.
MCU.
Justin Hammer of Hammer Industries.
Dia buat weapon tapi when it comes down to a fight, he is completely useless.
Justin Hammer siapa tu? But yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Or Max Scott from DC.
Oh, nice. Okay, seterusnya Mofa mengatakan makin lama cerita ni jadi makin dark, macam tak sesuai untuk budak-budak. I feel it's now season 5. I mean, kalau budak tu start tengok masa dia umur dia 10, sekarang dia dah 15. Kalau dia tengok masa dia umur 6, sekarang dia dah 11. It's just growing with the audience. Just like how Harry Potter lepas Prisoner of Azkaban, the third book ataupun the third movie, baru turn dark. So it's a nice inflection point dari segi storytelling. Your audience dah membesar dengan kau, so now it's time to jadi emo and dark, green dark.
Tapi ni aku nak mention point tu. Kalau kita tengok a lot of animes they are watched by kids and teenagers nowadays. Some of them memang starting pun dah dark gila dah. Contohnya most of the Gundam punya series, selain daripada the Bill Fighter punya series lah, a lot of the Gundam punya series, there's a lot of character death, banyak kena but most of the dark side of the storyline kan, dia tak ada involve, yang aku tengok lah, dia tak ada involve really mature points macam rape, torture, mental break. Dia setakat injury, dia setakat kena mati or just like KO and whatnot. Bleeding aku rasa is something that is tolerated by anime viewers, even though for the younger ones, because quite frankly kalau if their parents allow them to watch shonen punya series, they are already prepared for that to happen. Kalau tidak, you tengok Shinchan je lah.
I mean, their parents grew up on Dragon Ball and like Yu Yu Hakusho, which is like
correct.
100% fighting good. So macam takkanlah parents dia takkan macam kau tengok je lah My Hero Academia
Dragon Ball tu kan
nothing lah ni.
Macam ni je. Boom, whole city is gone. It's like
yes, Dragon Ball Z memang dark gila tu.
So it's like violence is accepted by them. Janji, you the pain or the death is clean. Dia tak ada macam long term member tu jadi macam like
betul.
Dia tak ada jadi kepala gila sewe long term, tak banyak lah. Those are the ones that they really take into account lah.
Interesting.
Yang punya shonen punya.
Hopefully kita tak cover shoujo one of these days.
Oh,
I'm okay.
One of the darkest shoujo series ni was alamak, the name came into my head. Yang tu Madoka Magica Puella.
Yes.
Is a shoujo magical girl series. Tapi orang mati berdarah-darah aku tu. Aku baru tengok satu episod dah macam like, oh, what the hell? Sebab aku enjoy dia punya intro song. So from the intro song, you see a lot of cute girls. So I was thinking, going blind into the anime. Aku cakap, okay lah. While waiting for the next, comedy episode, aku tengok satu episode. Oh, okay lah. Magic is shit. So
interesting.
Memang it's a rarity, but memang ada jugalah yang darknya shoujo shoujo punya anime ni. Kejut.
Lepas tu Iqbali juga menambah ada satu lagi level atas sikit, seinen, young adult man. Oh, is this the crying bullshit tu, apa dah anime from the 80s tu? Crying Freeman. Crying Freeman is seinen, is it?
Yeah. You can consider it seinen. It's basically macam gaduh, manly, all that bullshit lah. Macho.
Hokuto no Ken.
Hokuto no Ken. Yeah.
Hokuto no Ken is called seinen.
It's seinen. It's not actually shonen. It's basically macam people die, and we have to accept it. Something life is not important. Honor is. You die with your feet up on the ground instead of on your back. All those philosophical.
There's a lot of existential angst, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kemudian kategori mengatakan Madoka Magica Puella 2 season 3 movie. Fact check oleh kategori The Great. Komen terakhir. Yeah, a lot for you to enjoy. Komen terakhir untuk segmen ini, Mofa mengatakan villain punya power lagi menarik dari hero yang mesin basuh tu. Dah lah dapat top 10 hero masa season lepas. Siapa yang mesin basuh ni sial? Is it Sliding Go?
Tak. There was some guy like washing machine, tapi dia tak pernah featured in the anime actually doing work. It's like, Ana, top 10 member. Tapi like, apa power dia? Tak tahu. Itu je lah.
Power dia supposedly basuh kejahatan dalam hati penjahat. Sampai je. Patut pun tak pernah featured tu. Saya akan menggunakan pencuci ini untuk basuh hati dalam taman anda. Sampai gitu. Okay, last few comments. Iqbal Lee mengatakan contoh seinen Tokyo Ghoul ataupun Tokyo Ghoul, dan juga Mofa mengatakan Vinland Saga, one of the best seinen. Nice. Seinen sampah betul mesin basuh. Alright guys, dengan itu kita akan membincangkan plot menarik kita yang kedua. Alright, so plot menarik kita yang kedua, by the way, this is one of my favourite overlays. Macam Hawks tengok kamera macam aku nak bunuh Kimak ni ataupun aku nak kidnap dia. Watch me kidnap him, guys. Sial tu overlay ni. So kita...
Is this from the anime?
Yes, this is from the anime.
Yeah.
He directly looks at the camera telling the viewer like, shit's gonna go down.
Oh.
So this is the cold open a few weeks ago. Di Kyushu, di mana plot second core bermula beberapa minggu lepas di kota Kyushu. Ada tiga quote menarik. Pertama daripada Hawks, dia mengatakan, I just want you to believe me. It's because I'm on the inside that I feel it keenly. The job of a hero should just be done away with, kata Hawks kepada Dabi. Kemudian Dabi menjawab, next is your last chance. I'll have you show your loyalty to not only the League of Villains, but also to the anti-establishment cause. I presume this is the Meta Liberation Army. Make it someone other than the number one hero this time. ... Kemudian Hawks terbang ke stratosphere dan bercakap kepada Commission, Dabi contacted me again. Honestly, he's still wary of me. Our conversations are being watched. Please send everything in code from now on. I'll pinpoint the location of the Nomus as soon as possible. So nampaknya ini macam motivasi dia infiltrate the League of Villains dan juga Meta Liberation Army. So soalan aku kepada para panelis, apakah pendapat anda tentang Hawks terpaksa sacrifice fiber hero Best Genius semata-mata untuk diterima oleh Dabi serta the League of Villains? Kita mulakan dengan Shaz. Silakan Shaz. Because last week kita dapat tahu yang Best Genius dah hilang So turns out Kimak ni was involved, Hawks was involved. So silakan.
Okay, you mungkin kau gelak tapi 2 kali aku tengok anime ni, aku tak ingat scene ni, kau tahu.
Ada tu, masa scene ni Best Genius cakap, kau tak selalu datang rumah aku. So that's the actual line. You don't usually come to my place.
No, I watched the whole scene. I mean, they ada the conversation. It's amazing that a man can live without one lung.
Yeah.
Like, what do you plan to do? Aku nak, go public again, everything. But this specific scene tau, this particular screenshot yang kau letak ni completely changes my view of him. Okay, first kita tahu he's been monitored since day one.
Yes.
Okay, so they can see what he's seeing. Probably dia letak kat spec dia lah,
Yes.
All the camera, microphone and whatnot. So they can see what he do. Okay.
Yes, betul. Yeah, that's why he's looking at them like, hey, I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
So that's why he showed the camera and everything as evidence that he's there, he's going to attack and whatnot. So he will actually attack Mr. Best Genius ni. Take photo of him dead, tapi sebenarnya Best Genius tak mati. Okay, you see, this gambar ni, when you show ni, shows that he is clearly staging an attack.
Yes.
Okay. Aku ingat mula-mula, dia betul-betul slash member ni and then bawa ke Dabi tau. So now,
in the back.
Aku lemak kau dalam bag, siap kau.
Betul.
But now this one, bila ada gambar ni, is obviously he is trying to fake either his death or his heavy injury. Because kita tahu that dia dah lah Mofah ni kemana pula dia punya point. Lari terus aku punya train of thought. Sorry. Mofah ni badut lah kadang-kadang. So, okay. Initially aku ingat dia akan slash betul-betul bawa ke Dabi. But now, with this particular image ni, which for some reason, 2 kali aku tengok pun aku tak ingat this particular image, is going to fake Genius punya death or severe injury and report will show that he's missing.
That's
So
interesting.
Whether he brings, so dia akan macam he will be heavily injured, dia akan bawa proof of dia punya baju ke apa ke, kan, to show that mamak ni dah gone dah, I bring you Best Genius punya apa kan. Yes. So then dia akan macam like
Trik dia adalah kau kena tengok at half speed. Iqbali dan Shaz. You watch the show the second time at half speed and then you notice a lot of shit. It's weird.
Itulah. So aku pun terkejut bila nampak di sini like so anyway, this particular scene memang betul-betul best jenis. Aku rasa dia dah dapat some info from Hawks ahead of time.
Interesting.
Because best jenis was number 3 before he had to go temporarily off sebab dia injured during the fight dengan All for One.
Yeah. Oh sorry, All for One.
And then when piecing together korang punya explanation that he fly to the sky above the clouds, he can still communicate with the hero punya commission, means there are people who are at that level. Oh, aku suka Mofa punya pujian. Terima kasih. So bayangkan, mungkin dia orang dah pakat awal when they are in the sky and everything, dia dah pakat and so on. Dia dah set up dia punya ni injury, tapi dia tak bawa kepala dia. I bring you the uniform that he pakai or something like that lah.
But what's in the bag? Yang masa dia terbang with that bag, lepas tu dia cakap Dabi tak contact aku, kimak. Dah lah last day of the year. Kau doubt my macam aku rasa tu lah badan best jenis sial. Aku rasa dia dah chop up best jenis, letak dalam bag.
Okay. It could be a random victim from another crime that dia minta bantuan pihak polis ke apa ke. Nah, I bring you your tribute. So best jenis officially kenalah pergi missing. Kalau dia tak pergi missing, dia keluar tiba-tiba kat tepi market ke apa ke, hey guys, I'm best jenis. Matilah Hawks. So kalau betul-betul he is carrying a tribute lah, let's say lah, whatever form of tribute, best jenis pula must play his part. Dia kena hilang. He has to hilang. So of course best jenis kenalah talk about his plans, you know, I'm going to go public again, blah blah blah.
Macam betul lah, macam like this is really happening, yeah.
Macam like he doesn't know he's going to be backstab. So dengan itu maka Mofah pun kagum lah dengan teori aku.
The way it plays out, it looks like best jenis was guard down. Macam kau selalu tak datang tempat aku, lepas tu these are my plans, blah blah blah. And then next thing you know, member dah buka dia punya, you know,
kan
dia punya feather tu macam nak cucuk dia, macam dang.
YPT lah, but they never show it. By not showing a specific action is a good storytelling punya style, which always leaves us with like, did he not. Ini biasalah dalam crime punya thriller punya shows kan. And then later on, sebenarnya tidak.
Red herring.
So, I truly believe Hawks is a good guy, but cara dia main all the sides tu kan, betul-betul macam LOKI lah, MCU punya LOKI. Untuk makluman, aku tak tengok The Incredible any episode at all.
It has some very awesome soundtrack by Michael Giacchino. Some very awesome soundtrack. I think one of the songs sampai sekarang orang gunakan dalam TikTok. The bunyi misteri tu yang it's fucking awesome. Awesome soundtrack. Yes, it sounds like a James Bond movie tambah superheroes. You should just listen to the soundtrack, yeah. By the way, kita punya pembaca manga yang dah tahu, is best jenis still alive ataupun adakah ini satu fake out oleh Hawks?
If I tell you the answer is going to be a spoiler. But I can tell you this, when they were meeting at this time kan, best jenis tak the heads up apa-apa pun. He was not informed.
Good to know.
Yeah. And you must also understand that at this point, Hawks kan was monitored by the guy with the laptop. Because he's under the stratosphere.
So is that why Hawks was looking to the camera like, hey?
Yeah, hey, you seeing this? I'm going to do it. And you have to understand, the first episode of this season kan, when Hawks was brought to meet the committee and they asked to infiltrate, he said, you know, I have to do a lot of things yang to gain Dabi's punya confidence to join infiltrate the League of Villains. What if I kill someone? That will be regrettable, but it'll be allowed. It's like macam internal affairs.
the cost of
Police,
doing business.
the police kalau nak break into this criminal organization, if they have to shoot someone to show the loyalty or rob bank or jual dadah on the streets,
Boleh.
it's part of the investigation. So
Banyak
maybe
yang
this.
spoiler bang.
Yeah, I'm not saying that this is the case, but I'm saying that most of the situations like these things are allowed. Okay.
Aduh.
Member terus walk off screen. Dia bengang saya. Dia terus walk off screen.
Yeah.
Okay, so
And just FYI, right? They said Buzz Genius is missing. You have to understand, in this particular world, right? I don't want to spoil anything. If something happens to a hero, right, they would try to cover up so that the people do not lose confidence in the hero. So maybe he's dead, maybe he's not dead, and if he's dead, they're covering it. Maybe he's not dead but in bad condition, so they hide dia punya condition so that people don't finish him off. For our protection, not only because of the hero, also protection for the public trust to be maintained.
interesting.
That one I agree sebab All Might punya injury kat dan dia punya injury teruk tu lah, only just a few people je yang tahu. The one who know about his time limit and Deku lah. Aku tak tahu Bakugo tahu ke tak. Tak tahu. But ultimately when towards the end, when they realize when in the final fight against All for One, people got to see him in his human form lah. So by that time, sebab dia pun dah, I cannot carry it anymore. That's why dia cakap your time,
Yes.
your time is now. Your time is next ke apa ke?
Yeah.
Everybody was thinking is the villains, but they could know there was his All Might was telling him, now's your time lah.
It's the
I cannot carry
final move to save the day. Yeah, he had to do his final move. It's like, nah, all my powers.
Habis gila-gila.
Yeah. Okay, so kita ada 4 komen dari penonton di rumah. Pertama daripada Mofa mengatakan scene Hawks dengan Best Genius ini antara tambahan yang bagus ya di dalam anime, sebab seingat aku dalam manga tak ada scene ini langsung. Interesting.
Oh, menarik.
Yeah, it's expanded. Yeah.
Wow. It's expanded? Wow.
Yeah, it's expanded because these sort of things took about like nak kata pages, like 1-2 pages, something like that. Few scenes. And the details, all these minute things that we see in the show, we get to see in this particular show and not in manga. So that's why we can actually have a lot of ideas about it lah.
It makes Hawks stronger, dia punya story arc.
Which means Bones punya the animation studio and the mangaka agreed to this tau. Because in the stronger mangakas, they have almost complete creative control. So for them to add a full anime only scene macam ni means he is a good addition lah. There was a proof.
It means it's an integral part of the subplot.
Yeah.
That's cool. Seterusnya kategori The Great mengatakan, nak tanya, Best Genius ni kuasa dia affect badan dia juga kan? Atau dia hanya boleh kawal benang sahaja? Shaz?
I remember he can affect benang sahaja. But whether the benang itself is part of him, aku tak ingat. I know for a fact lah that bila he can unravel all the benang there is, from his baju and everything. But I don't, as far as I know, it's just baju biasa je. So yang ni aku tak ingat. Ni kena check balik online lah. Tapi aku tak berani tu, nanti kena spoiler.
Ari, does it only extend to the benang on his clothes or extend to himself? Like, can he use his pubes?
Macam Bayonetta.
Macam Bayonetta, yeah.
His powers are fiber related. That much I'm
Yeah.
sure. But he's not my favorite character, so I don't pay much attention to him and his powers. So I think his power is fiber related, similar to Jolene Cujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure 5 or 6, if I can't remember. So as far as the fiber to is from his body or not, that one I cannot confirm. Maybe it's something that he can use with the fibers around him, or maybe he can generate his own thing fiber macam Momo. I'm not sure about that.
Oh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, man. Okay, komen seterusnya daripada Iqbal Lee di YouTube. Dia bertanya, dia mengatakan, aku rasa dalam bag Hawks tu adalah stok buku Liberation yang dia baru order.
Yeah.
Most likely, but he is meeting Dabi. He is supposed to meet Dabi and Dabi is late. So, pelik lah kalau dia bawa buku kan. Macam, kimak mana kau Dabi? Aku nak pergi New Year's party ni. Seterusnya, Mofah mengatakan, best jenis hidup atau mati. Benda ini jadi persoalan pembaca manga juga dulu. Bastard je ketawa dia. Agak bastard untuk ambil atas. Macam sial dia. Okay, seterusnya Arif Fikri Arifuddin bertanya kepada Anri ya. Abang Anri, manga latest dah berapa arc ke depan ya? Bosan-bosan ni rasa nak baca lah pula. Dekat TikTok bersepah. New look Midoriya. Oh my god, I hope I don't accidentally find that. Tak sabar pula. What chapter are you reading currently?
I'm currently reading chapter 317 or 318. Where Midoriya has gone, not spoil, tak nak spoil. Where Midoriya becomes what's spoiling more like Batman.
Wow.
Batman Punisher, something like that.
I think around 307 when they said this is the final arc, he left the school, right? I was spoiled of that. Shaz, kalau aku tak tahu lagi, sorry.
Yeah. At least I can spoil this much. He left the school because he wants to protect dia punya friends lah.
Wow.
He knows at this moment in time, at that particular punya 307 punya chapter, I cannot trust the hero society to safeguard anyone, not even my mom. Everyone is fair game because everything has gone to shit. That was the point in time kan, where people, aku tak nak spoil banyak lagi lah. That's the point of time kan where he lose confidence in protecting the people around him.
Wow.
So
Macam Harry Potter lah.
Yeah.
Macam Harry Potter.
That scene where Hermione brainwash dia punya parents kan.
Yes.
Sedih, but we understand dia punya motivation lah.
Okay, komen seterusnya untuk Shaz ya. Aku nak tengok muka Shaz. Kesian Shaz, muka redo. wait. So to get context ya, this Endeavour Agency arc is what chapter exactly? Is it 200 something, 100 something? Because right now they are at, according to Capital Gate, 319.
319.
So the Endeavour Agency arc was
200 something.
Oh,
so we're not that.
Ada,
so I think we're at like 1, 2, 3 arcs before we catch up with the latest chapters.
According to Iqbal Lee, there are 2 arcs in front.
There you go.
Arc yang panjang, itu je yang saya boleh cakap. Wow.
Heavy arcs.
Nice. So kena buat muka redor lagi Syaz. New look Midoriya memang badass tu. Dalam manga pun aku baca macam serius lah budak ni yang makan rambut All Might dulu.
This Midoriya is the type yang takkan apa. If he's in a bad mood, Bakugo better shut up lah.
And then Mofa mengatakan Syaz kena spawn macam tu je. Baru logik teori yang kata Shinso kalau nak masuk kelas hero kena ganti seorang pelajar. Dia tak gantikan sesiapa sebab Midoriya keluar. Fuck you lah Mofa. I don't want to read anymore. Okay, cukup spoiler untuk malam ini. Tapi Iqbal Lee mengatakan Endeavour Agency arc is 241 chapter. And then sekarang kita di chapter 319. So about 100, tak sampai 100 kot. 241 to 312 is only about 80 chapters. Yeah.
There you go.
So 2 arcs in front. Okay. 5 tahun dia sekarang ke baru kita dapat tengok dalam anime.
If everything goes too well, maybe we have back-to-back seasons.
Please.
It feels like that. Feels like it's going like that. I think once we catch up with the current chapter, maybe it'll take longer time to make a new season. So maybe that's why they're trying to put everything right now.
Or they might do a movie lah to fill up the gap in between.
Yeah, if it's like macam 2 years wait kan, they're gonna pump in as much OVAs, special episodes, movies for money purposes. The mangaka will complain.
So like for this past next 26 weeks, we're currently at week 14. We've been talking about My Hero Academia for 14 weeks in a row. Then kita kena tunggu 2 tahun before the next 26 weeks in a row. Lama sia.
Maybe not. Maybe we'll see it like next season. It's all up for Studio Bones and the mangaka. Thankfully, Bones do a great job. It's just the quality lah. It's going to be affected if they push it too fast. Yeah.
I rather they take their time with it. Can you imagine tak? It'll be so funny kau tahu ni. We are discussing the opening episode of the final arc. Aku duk pegang anak aku. Aku dah tengok dah season 1. Aku dah tengok season 1.
Betul, it's gonna be that long, man.
It'll be so funny kau tahu.
Yes, betul. Okay, so komen terakhir untuk segmen ini adalah daripada Mofa. Tapi ada yang katalah season depan akan tangguh dulu sebab Bones nak adaptasi Vigilante pula.
Yes.
Aku happy kita akan ada MHA Vigilante, tapi come on lah, takkanlah kau tak boleh buat department yang ni kau adapt Vigilante, yang ni kau continue adapting MHA.
Tak, there's a reason ni.
Kenapa?
If they really want to adapt Vigilante first, means Vigilante punya storyline akan affect the final arc of ni. So dari segi anime timeline, orang yang tak baca manga ni kan, they will get that first, baru dia akan dapat the anime punya final arc. Dia like, oh, ini mamat tu. I see. Sebab akan ada orang degil macam aku ni kan, tak nak baca manga lah kononnya.
Aku tak ada masa sebenarnya. Aku sekarang dah tengok 5 TV show on top of whatever movie I'm watching. Aku tak ada masa tu. Setiap hari aku hidup untuk buat live stream, buat overlay, jaga Facebook. I just don't have the fucking time. It's like, but I look forward to that. Betul. Kemudian Iqbal bertanya, Vigilante spin-off ke? Aku tak baca manga ni. Anri, if you can talk a little bit about Vigilante.
It's a spin-off sequel. It has a lot of kick-ass feel to it now. Yeah. The main character...
But it's a prequel, right? It's not a sequel, it's a prequel, right?
It happens before My Hero Academia because I saw Aizawa as an active hero now. He hasn't become a teacher yet. So it's hinting that this takes place years before My Hero Academia.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, ini untuk Shaz ya, Shaz. Silakan baca komen ni, Shaz. Aduh. Tapi Mofa tu kat Kelantan kan? Is it? So, sorry lah. Maybe satu hari kita turun Kelantan ke lepas MCO ni. So,
tuan, lepas MCO lah.
InsyaAllah. Kita jalan-jalan pergi Kelantan. Yes. Okay, dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita akan membincangkan babak menarik kita yang ketiga. Alright, so kalau minggu lepas kita ada Wet Bandits, minggu ini kita ada Star Servant, Mad Prophet or Truth Sayer. Di mana penjahat Star Servant mengamuk di tengah-tengah bandar menyebabkan Endeavour dan 3 internsnya, Deku, Kachan dan Shoto jump into action. So kita ada 2 quote daripada Star Servant. Pertama, Star Servant mengatakan, I receive a divine message from the universe. The evil stars are colluding. We must stop them. This land is about to be covered in darkness. Run away, citizens. I am the one who will destroy the source of darkness. Now, I will expose you. Messenger of Pluto, come out. Seterusnya Star Servant selepas ditangkap mengatakan, let go. If you don't let go, it'll be too late. Points at Endeavor. That guy's the source of darkness. The light he gives off brings darkness and demise. So, pada pendapat anda, adakah kata-kata Star Servant sekadar the rantings of a madman, ataupun adakah dia sebenarnya seorang prophet of bad things to come kepada hero society serta humanity? Silakan Shaz.
Firstly, kalau he truly has prophetic powers lah, agak malang lah dia tak prophesy that he kena tangkap by the police.
Betul. Iqbal Lee bercakap orang gila je ni.
Okay, tapi here's the thing lah. People in universe, dia orang dah kenal Mamat ni sebenarnya. Dia orang kan kalau you tengok the office people, dia cakap, bukan Mamat tu ke daripada so and so organisation kan?
From the second ward.
So dia ni kan macam Am Chung Kri Kyo tau. A bit.
Yes,
He's a cult leader, seorang dah kenal. Dia kan suka terbang. So it's like, Mamat ni Mamat religion, biarlah dia, you know. He can manipulate glass balls, biarlah dia.
Ayah Pin dia dan kerajaan langit.
He literally can fly because he can manipulate glass.
Yeah, man.
So when he tiba-tiba explode all the glass there, mungkin that was the first time he became violent. And dia sengaja datang ke Endeavor punya town.
Yes.
Because you dah nampak dia punya konco-konco dia. Kita tahan Endeavor dengan tali. Endeavor macam like aku rasa dia nampak tali tu macam like, ini kau nak tangkap aku ke dengan tali biasa? Are you really wasting? Dalam hati dia, kau buang masa aku ke ni?
Henchman dia sampah bro. They can't even afford a uniform, okay? At least Wet Bandits last week ada uniform, okay? Serasi semua, you know, sedondon, you know, it's like.
So kalau dari segi tu kan, unfortunately kita dah tahu that there will be darkness later on in the series lah.
Yeah.
Tapi kalau in universe, people yang first time tengok dia ni mengamuk, semua mesti akan cakap, mana gila tu? Like, apa benda dia merepek ni kan? And then because siap ada nama lagi, Star Servant, aku dapat mandat daripada langit, like,
yeah, man.
Okay, because it's simple. Endeavor is a public figure. Anybody can declare a public figure as a cause of doomsday.
Demise. Yes, darkness and demise, yeah.
Contoh terbaik Donald Trump lah. Donald Trump has been said, antichrist lah, setan lah, pembawa pemusnah dunia lah, lalas one term president. Then all the new naysayers semua macam like, I thought he was supposed to bring us, you know, problems and everything. So this guy, this guy aku rasa is just a plot device to allow Hawks and Endeavor to meet in that storyline. Kita tak akan dengar dah Mamat ni lagi lah.
Interesting.
He just pick a public figure who kebetulan is power dia api. Dia ni the light that bring the darkness. Okay bro, I think your time is up. You can go. Your time is up.
Okay, kita tanya pendapat Anri pula. Silakan Anri. Your thoughts about Star Servant, Mad Prophet or Truth Sayer? Silakan.
Okay,
maybe Shaz nak tutup telinga ke? Maybe.
Apa?
Silakan.
Okay. Star Servant is basically a manipulator and a madman. But here's the thing about crazy people. They don't usually lie. They speak out their mind, and because of that they drove into madness. So this is a little bit of foreshadowing on what's going to happen in the future. So Endeavor has the first hero, the number one hero. He would be responsible for the upcoming punya shit hitting the fan event lah. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say.
So basically pasal dia gila, dia tak ada filter lah. Dia terus cakap je. It's like this motherfucker. Yeah.
And then you see Endeavor's reaction now. He was looking and he wasn't actually interjecting. He kata, shut up old man, you're talking nonsense. He just listened and then he slowly macam contemplate on the punya words now. Kudos to Endeavor lah for actually being calm and collected lah. At least dia dengar and then maybe he pay heed to dia punya warning.
Yeah. Actually in this episode kita tengok Endeavor actually has brains tau. Selama ni aku ingat Kimak ni macam bronze je, macam panas, baran, bakar. But actually later in this segment kau akan tengok fucker actually got brains. Dia macam dia pandai think juga. Okay, kita ada beberapa komen dari penonton di rumah. Pertama daripada kategori The Great pada pukul 10 malam. Dia mengatakan fact check ya. Vigilante spin-off is before Deku dan boleh tengok perverted Miss Midnight.
Okay, malam ni kita PM tepi ya.
Yeah. Seterusnya Mofa pada 10.02 mengatakan Star Server ni kalau dalam movie kiamat macam orang gila yang orang anggap cakap mengarut. Last menyesal. Jeng. Okay.
Memang so, Prophet karakter selalu macam tu. Everybody akan anggap dia gila. Every prophet in history, whether they end up being true or not, semua orang akan cakap dia gila. At first.
Because it's so society changing apa yang dikatakan kan.
Itulah. That's the important part lah.
Yes. Seterusnya Iqbal Lee mengatakan tapi quote Star Servant dia bahaya. Gelas quote. Kalau dibuatkan jatuh dekat orang ramai tu mahu jadi Final Destination. Pada aku the first movie was the only good movie. Or maybe the second one was okay juga. Tapi beyond that, oh my god. And seterusnya kategori The Great mengatakan gelas dia boleh jadi bulat, bukan tajam kot. So tak ada Final Destination lah. And best sekali adalah daripada Arif Fikri mengatakan ucapan ayah pin kaca ni signifikan ke nanti? Sama-sama kita tunggu dan lihat seperti yang telah dihinkan oleh Anri. Okay, so dengan ini berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita akan ke babak menarik kita yang keempat. Kita entering heavy territory ya guys. Alright, so babak menarik kita yang keempat adalah tentang The Meta Liberation War, di mana Hawks berjumpa Endeavor selepas attack oleh Star Servant ini untuk memberikan warning kepada hero number one. Kita ada dua quote. Quote pertama daripada Hawks kepada Endeavor. Endeavor, have you read this Meta Liberation War book? It's gotten really popular recently. It's from a long time ago, but it has predictions about the present. Dan dia membacakan satu quote daripada buku ni. If you give freedom to a limited number of people, then the negative consequences will go to the others. Seterusnya, Hawks juga menambah, the leader of the Meta Liberation Army, Destro, ultimately wanted a society completed by personal responsibility. If that comes to fruition, then we'll definitely have too much time on our hands. Which is ini motivasi yang dicakap, aku jadi hero supaya aku dapat goyang kaki. So ini adalah satu hint yang menyebabkan Endeavor macam, gimana apa hal? Apa yang dimasukkan? So soalan aku kepada panelis, apakah pendapat anda tentang introduction buku Meta Liberation War? Adakah ideologi antagonis Destro ini bakal mengubah landscape My Hero Academia di masa depan, seperti efek ideologi hero killer stain terhadap masyarakat sebelum ini? Kita mulakan dengan Shaz, kaki anime kita. Silakan Shaz.
First kali Meta Liberation Army ni in anime memang first time show up lah. So anybody yang baru start this season, you don't have to worry, memang tak pernah ada mention ni. Destro kebetulan sama dengan nama villain, one of the villains masa G.I. Joe. But I think most of our fans takkan kenal, so that's fine. Cuma yang aku heran ni, dia karakter ni was not shown in the intro. So it might be a figure that kita tak pernah jumpa lagi lah. I mean, I'm pretty sure dalam manga nak keluar.
I think dia dah mati bro. Dia cakap a long time ago when he wrote this book.
Oh, ini macam cerita apa, macam falsafah, buku falsafah lah.
Yes, just like Mein Kampf. Just like Mein Kampf by Hitler. Yeah.
Okay, in that case, that means this is actually somebody or the current situation has allowed an influential group of people who are angry with the society right now ambil Stein punya philosophy and they combine it, and that's how they make this new army lah that Hawks is trying to infiltrate. Because kita jangan lupa 100,000 people, which probably involve orang miskin, orang kaya, orang gila, heroes, villains masquerading as normal people. There's a lot of type of people there who believe in the ideology and not the labels that are put into them. So aku rasa it's actually an idealistic punya view being manipulated by a powerful person, which could be one of All for One punya konco-konco ni lah.
Yeah, most likely it's looking like that. Anri, apakah pendapat kau?
Okay, criticism against the hero society punya led civilization right now. Memang there has been a lot of people been criticizing it since a long time ago. All for One is basically the guy who was the first leading power yang against it, but he wasn't the only one. We know Stein tak puas hati, Destro tak puas hati, a lot of other people tak puas hati, and the fact that there's 100,000 people registered under the Meta Liberation punya movement says something about the situation, the current situation right now. So, the book itself kan is a hint of the dissatisfaction has been a long-term problem with the way things are right now. So for us to actually have a sense of gravity on the situation, Hawks have said that you should read this and never. Maybe it will open your eyes. He's hinting that he's putting a message there, but he's also hinting kan, read the book. Do not just or at least read the highlight now.
Yeah.
Remember, the highlight was the quote yang kata the enemy is the Meta Liberation Society. There are 100,000 of them. But if you read the book right, you'll find out why they tak puas hati. This is the book that tells you what. Let's do something about it. But that's not his main focus. His main focus at that point of time is telling Endeavor, okay, I cannot talk to you straight, so I'm talking in coded message.
Yeah.
Be aware. This is what I'm going to do. Just have faith in me.
Yes.
That was what he's trying to convey.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Actually, ni aku nak tambah this Meta Liberation punya army ni, also the entire All for One, One for All punya ni is quite an interesting thing. Kalau kita tengok simbol yin and yang buruk yang aku baru lukis ni, kita boleh tengok even in All for One punya filosofi majority of it is like dark and you know, macam chaotic and everything. But there is some good in it. Just like the hero society, majority of it looks good. Tapi there's still some things inside it which people macam Stein, the Meta Liberation Army ni has identified and seen. But usually orang on the side of good ni, they will ignore the negative side of their society because they being how shall I put it, the majority. Orang majority ni biasanya dia tak kisah yang benda-benda yang ni, dia tutup sebelah mata je.
They self-identify of themselves as being right. Lebih kurang macam the Jedi the Jedi
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of real life examples and fictional characters and groups tend to have this situation where the good people end up thinking they were infallible, tapi they miss the evil that was within their society. So the orang jahat ni, they are pointing this out to the people who are in this, the dark side and all this kan. Tapi they are promoting it as this. Kita sebenarnya nak buat baik. Padahal you are expanding the chaos further with what they're going to do. So it's really secara tak langsung kan, the mangaka has managed to put in from a small story cerita sekolah ni into a very big commentary on society itself tau. Macam like, wow, it's really mind-blowing. So, if the kids watch it and they grow up with it, they'll be able to decide for themselves lah. Which is something that even macam Hawks kan, dia bawa buku banyak-banyak kan. That's why the three kids tu kan, yang under the internship semua tu, dia macam like, wow, Hawks ni macam berpandangan luas and everything, which is true.
Yeah.
Because he does look at it from a different angle.
I think they were saying like, dia baru umur 22, only 6 years older than us.
Beza 6 tahun je, wow. Tapi he's so worldly, dah boleh fikir falsafah and all this shit. Kalau there is no real balance and too much of one side, it becomes in power kan. You tend to be blinded lah. Sama juga kalau if there's too much dark side, then semua benda yang you tak nampak benda yang can be good from it.
Agreed.
Let me ask a question regarding on the philosophy of Destro trying to message lah. Which is worse actually? Is it worse or better to have heroes that tolerates evil, or evil people who has truly sincere noble good drive, dia punya niat baik tau. I'm trying to destroy this world so that there be no more lies. So whatever we do is on kita punya own actions, our own responsibility, our own free will. We destroy the laws because this laws is just used to protect certain individuals. So
which can become corrupt.
Yeah. The heroes, they uphold the law saying it's good, but we all know that people will continue to suffer about it and they just tolerate it top sebelah mata, like you said earlier. So which one is actually worse? Good guys doing good things but protect the bad intentions, or the villains who do evil things but have noble intentions? Which is worse?
I think sometimes you have to destroy the world in order to rebuild it. So I would be more on the villain side. I kind of see this storyline juga dalam Invincible. Kalau korang pernah tonton series Amazon Prime tu, initially everything starts very naive. Macam, kita hero, kita nak form Justice League. But by issue 50, one of their macam Tony Stark, Iron Man, realizes that we just keep beating shit down, but we never change the world. So dia punya ultimate, punya goal eventually was to control the whole world. Dia jadi evil. He control the whole world. Nama dia Robot. Sorry, spoilers. 5 season dia sekarang. They control the whole world to the point that Invincible has to leave Earth. Invincible and Atom Eve have to leave Earth. The Earth has been taken over by this despot robot, but it creates a uninterrupted, peaceful period of 100 years. So you have to do great evil in order to do ultimate good. That is my point of view. Basically, aku berfikiran macam Magneto sikit lah.
Just like the Watchmen movie.
Yes.
Ozymandias.
Vage had to make a threat to stop the Cold War, make an alien threat attacking New York, Moscow. Baru orang macam, okay, kita tak payah nuclear war, kita takut those squids in the air.
Yeah, yes, I killed 10 million people so that the world doesn't get nuked by Russia and America.
Yes.
10
That is
million
the
is
cost.
nothing.
That is the cost of peace. Billions will be peaceful, but 10 million had to die. Shaz, apa pendapat kau tentang peperangan ideologi ni? Be good, but then allow injustice, or be bad in order to allow peace?
True peace.
I sparked a really interesting question ni from that stupid drawing. Kalau siapa nak beli saya jual RM40, so saya boleh hantar tepi. The question has always been asked in a lot of fiction, in a lot of games, in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Ada satu game ni, Persona Shin Megami Tensei or Persona, aku tak ingat is the spin-off or not. They actually put you in a group of protagonists. You actually get to determine what happens after the world gets reset. And you have you can have a total dystopian world, you can have a total utilitarian world, you can have a world where everybody help each other, but there's no free will. It's like the ultimate moral dilemma in a game, betul? So in actual fact, kalau you nak tahu, we will never find the answer. Sebab we are forever flawed. I will never understand fully what another person thinks. Betul tak? So selagi there is always a potential of understanding kan, there will always be great stories. But there will be never true understanding. And selagi dalam hati manusia ni kan, you know it gets serious when Shah start talking in Malay. Dalam hati manusia ni,
yes,
there is still the desire of saya dulu. You will never find a resolution.
Corruption is possible. Walaupun kau baik mana, kau Jedi ke, kau hero ke, tapi kalau kau macam aku fikir diri aku dulu daripada society, then yeah.
I tell you, I bagi satu contoh of a corruption. Wah, aku suka Iqbal punya statement ni. That is correct. That sama macam okay. I give you a contoh of what kind of moral dilemma can happen. You have you ada dua anak, okay? Dua suffering from terminal cancer, tapi an operation can save them. Okay?
Oh, this is the choice. This is the moral choice.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So somebody comes down, offers you, I want you to kill that politician, but I will make sure your kids live sampai dia orang tua. I will pay for dia orang punya semua ni, all dia orang punya sickness punya treatment sampai college and everything. You just have to kill that politician je. But the politician is helping millions around the world by what he does. So this is, do you want to save your kids or you want to save, let the politician live and everything?
Yeah.
Until you realize that politician banyak corruption. Oops. So sudah. Kalau aku tolong, aku jahanam, tak tolong jahanam, anak aku tolong tak tolong, it's going to be shit anyway. So it all comes down to, is your saya dulu higher than orang lain dulu? I think in that scenario, when people are in the worst keadaan terdesak,
Yes.
they will always revert to, I will say
Aku
myself
dulu.
first. You tengok
Yeah.
zombie apocalypse, you tengok cerita apa yang Superman Lois mati tu in Injustice
Yes, Injustice, yeah. Injustice.
kan? He became the ultimate villain by implementing the most inhuman draconian system, but it brought peace to the earth kan?
I didn't really read all the way pasal dia ada year 1, year 2, year 3, but most likely, yeah.
But you see, because of the fact that kita ni flawed, we can never find the true solution, because we are always supposed to strive for better. That is the ultimate solution. You cannot actually let any majority or something take too much control or power, because within that power itself lies the corruption, because you dah fikir I can get away with it. Any political system yang kita tengok has been corrupted and there's also been run well. Democracy has its villains, dictators has its villains. Apa lagi? Socialistnya.
Even if you look at communism pun, initially communism is socialism. Di mana semua orang, everything is owned by the state, semua orang akan dapat equal share. Tapi when it is in effect, when you try to do it in reality, it turns into communism, where tiba-tiba party members dapat the things first, ataupun dapat more of the thing. Lepas tu orang yang kerja dekat factory floor tu dapat paling sikit, weekly rations macam sampah. So yes, humans are infinitely flawed. So nak macam mana?
So to answer that question, which system is better? A system where all the good guys, wah, kita semua the hero system and everything, but we ignore certain things which are tak baik lah, which the villains, the heroes are doing, but acting like villains, or a system where everybody's, kau jaga diri sendiri lah, kita jaga kita, but ultimately everybody is held more responsible. I think that is something that we cannot really fully adopt any particular system. But what we're supposed to do is kita kena tengok every system, ambil the best from this, the best from this, the best from this, the best from this. Because ultimately there will never be a perfect system of governance or way of life.
That's where
the only
chapter 319 is right now.
I'm contradicting myself here. But the only one that might actually be a potentially good system is the utopian mindset, where everybody works for the greater good. There is no macam like, I should take a lot more and everything, everybody help each other out. We are working because we should work. Utopia is impossible. Because
tapi itu cerita dongeng, bro. I mean, utopia basically is quote dia datang daripada Star Trek tau. Sebab aku suka Star Wars daripada Star Trek is because Star Trek is dongeng. Satu quote daripada Spock ialah, the needs of the many is more important than the needs of one person. So itu adalah Vulcan Society punya belief. The thing is, Star Trek is fucking bullshit sci-fi dongeng fantasy. While Star Wars is reality. Star Wars is ada orang korup, Jedi pun korup, walaupun yang baik, Empire pun macam korup juga. Palpatine punya rise to power tu guna politics is fucking beautiful. But itu pandangan aku. So silakan Shazli.
I think it will be a question which will never be able to be answered.
Yeah.
Because historically kita tak pernah achieve near utopia. Jangan kata full utopia tau. A near utopia punya society, it has never happened before.
Yeah.
Tak pernah.
Not since Rome, not since Egypt, China, Incans, tak ada. Empires rise and empires will fall. Time is the only constant.
Yeah, the only way we can, the only philosophy lah that is realistic, that we can all adopt is you do good lah. Kau jangan buat salah, and you need to have enough self-awareness to know when you are doing something which is not really good for the long term, which is the whole concept of the good hero society. But they're like, even the benda-benda yang tak betul that we're doing, so there must be enough self-awareness say, kita sepatutnya tak boleh lah letak dia orang dalam prison terus terang macam tu. Basically, Batman was striving for this, but even Batman couldn't achieve it. Because he was also like, kenapa kau tak bunuh je Punisher, kan? Punisher was
Batman like, terikat dengan dia punya promise yang he will never use a gun.
Tapi dia boleh kunci orang dalam bilik bagi mati kau tahu. Macam like, belah lah kau.
Sebenarnya Batman tu double standard tau. Kalau kau fikir kan, in the past 80 tahun of Batman history, berapa banyak henchmen dia dah bunuh sebenarnya. Berapa banyak balu, widow kepada henchmen macam, husband aku kena bunuh dengan Batman. Tapi yang premier villains, oh tak apa, kau terlalu penting untuk franchise ni, so kau kena masuk dalam Arkham Asylum. Macam kibat sih.
He used a twisted logic.
Ya, twisted logic.
Husband jatuh daripada bangunan. Oh, I didn't kill him. The gravity and the pavement kill him. You know.
Tapi kalau Joker, tak apalah, ni kali ke-100 lah aku tangkap kau. Kau masuklah Arkham tu. Dalam 2 minggu kita jumpa lagi pasal isu baru akan keluar. Kelakar. But yes, interesting conversation. Apa pendapat korang? Tell us in the comment section below. Ada 4 komen yang aku akan bacakan sekarang. Pertama daripada kategori The Great 10-12, dia mengatakan hero number 1 kena ada, ni off topic sikit. Hero number 1 kena ada lebih 30 sidekick yang bekerja. Tapi ada persoalan, All Might macam bergerak solo je. Yes, All Might never had an agency kan. So it's weird that All Might exists in this agency system, tapi he is like the Superman. Dia macam, I don't need followers.
He had one sidekick.
Siapa?
The sidekick, yang Deku pergi intern tu, that guy yang mati tu. What's his name? I forgot.
Oh, yeah. That was the one guy Yeah.
I don't know if he has an agency, but he had a sidekick. Apa nama dia?
Bukan yang pakai spek mati tu. Ya, sedih juga.
Tu yang boss Bubble Girl tu. Apa?
Yes.
Ya.
Minta tolong. Doktor di rumah tak ingat nama.
Aku cari komen.
Sir Night Eye.
Oh,
Night Eye, yes.
Sir Night Eye, yes. Sir Night Eye, yeah.
I beat Mova by half a second.
Yes, so quite interesting to see that agency endeavor ni is so popular dan busy dan buat lebih kurang semua benda dan bukan macam superhero dah, macam semua benda bukan buat.
And keep in mind, one day 100 orders tau. That means dia bounty, banyak duit dapat tau. Tangkap orang, ambil commission, bodyguard orang, selesai missing persons, whatever it is, bullshit case lah. That's 100. So you know he's doing well, but still nak kata kaya taklah kaya sangat, but he lives quite modestly lah compared to some heroes lah.
Aku nak macam
silakan.
This fits well with the concept of Stain yang cakap aku tak suka hero sekarang ni selain All Might.
Pasal dah jadi macam business.
Yes,
It is
All
a
Might
business.
was the only selfless hero. Aku tak tahu dia makan macam mana, tapi he was the only selfless hero as far as Stain was concerned lah. So aku rasa it could be referring to this concept of making it as a business. Banyak sidekick buat kerja. They treat it as a business. Basically meta police lah. Meta police bounty hunters. So that's why they only acknowledge All Might. And then siapa lagi you ingat tak? He acknowledged another person, tak silap aku. Was it Deku?
Apa dia?
He acknowledged somebody after selain daripada All Might. He said, you are allowed to live. I allow you to live.
Aku rasa Deku. Yang dekat shopping mall tu, yang dia tak bunuh. Ya. Mofa kata it was Deku.
Dekat lorong tu. Dekat lorong. Yes, Mofa punya fact check. Dekat lorong tu they were fighting and they said because of I can see in your eyes you are the selfless type. I will spare you.
Dia cakap dia lambat pasal internet bro.
Tahu. Kita pakai fiber.
Okay, seterusnya pada 10.15 Mofa mengatakan bijak juga Metal Liberation ni. Diorang tahu nak kalahkan hero kena ada duit. Itulah kelebihan Metal Liberation Army daripada Shigaraki. Wow. Oh, so I guess apa yang Anri cakap tu, he is a businessman, dia macam Lex Luthor. That this is what Mofa is saying lah. No spoilers.
You have to understand, people macam those support type people, right? They are practical people tau. They do things practically. That means they know if you want to fight a war, you need supplies, you need equipment, and the
Betul.
army marches on its belly like a snake. So food costs money, everything costs money. If you
Lodgings,
Shigaraki
transportation.
fights on ideals, I want to bring the chaos, make all for one for all, proud for me, whatever this like push it. But he didn't. But he didn't think about the logistics of it.
Yeah.
Uh,
So far, we've seen, I think last season we saw organisasi berbentuk Yakuza. So that is one way. Kau jaga kawasan, but at the same time kau buat kejahatan. And then I guess this season we will see a businessman version of it.
a businessman version with ideal drives lah.
Yeah, compared to Shigaraki always in the shadows, macam kita 5-7 orang, we will change society. Like how? How you
I have
want to do it?
100,000 people and money.
It's
Why
as simple as that.
why should I follow you?
Yeah.
It's been interesting to see when this guy and Shigaraki clash lah. See how they try to win over each other lah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Seterusnya Mofa menambah ideologi Metal Liberation Army ini bila makin dalam dia orang sentuh, makin orang faham kenapa dia orang benci hero. Wow. Something to look forward to, Shaz. Kemudian dia cakap at least kita akan pentingkan diri kita dulu. Susah nak buat acah-acah movie makanan ada satu tapi bagi dekat orang tepi jalan yang lagi memerlukan. This was in reference to kepada perbincangan awal kita yang humanity is always flawed and when push come to shove, we will always fikir diri kita sendiri. Yeah, I mean that is the basic of the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Mula-mula kau perlukan makanan, then you need shelter, and then you need self-worth before you get to the higher levels. So when it goes to the point yang aku tak ada tempat makan atau tempat tinggal, you will always think of yourself first. That is
ada that one movie, or is it TV series? 30 floors of prison, all the food will come down from the top.
Oh yeah.
Fuck man, that is a fucked up movie, man. That is
Tapi
a
I
fucked
was
up
like,
movie.
when I heard the premise kan, I was like,
Yeah. That was last year, masa MCO mula-mula start. So dah lah orang tak boleh keluar rumah, orang tersekat. Lepas tu movie tu jadi popular kat Telegram, macam gila babi popular. Aku rasa rugi aku tak cover tu. That movie is a mindfuck.
Great bedah session.
It would have been 1 year ago. Sekarang orang dah macam kimak. Kita lama lah bang. Saya tak nak bagi likes kepada abang lah. Okay, seterusnya Khair 1025. Aku dah baca 1025 tadi. Dah, okay. Next one ialah daripada Khairul Amri. Khairul Amri mengatakan Lemillion tu intern under All Might Agency juga kan? Before Deku join. Isn't that Night Eyes Agency?
Night Eye. Bukan All Might.
Yes, All Might ada agency. Yeah. Dia ada follower. Dia ada sidekick iaitu Lemillion lah.
Vermilion followed Night Eye and Night Eye recognize Vermilion as dia punya true heir to One for All punya legacy.
Yes, which is the reason for their fight. Kemudian Iqbali memberitahu bahawa Night Eyes minta bagai nak rak kot untuk All Might nak jadi sidekick dia. Kemudian Mofa mengatakan the reason that All Might susah nak ada sidekick sebab dia ada banyak rahsia pasal kuasa dia. Yes, the fact that he is actually Shazam. So dia tak boleh share kepada seluruh dunia.
Tapi kan, one of the movies, was it the first or second, aku tak ingat. Dia ada tunjuk dia ada partner lama tau.
Ya.
Dekat Amerika.
Ya.
Before Night Eye, he had a old friend. Dia ada team dia masa kat US. Then when he moved out of US punya tu, the team dah disband lah.
So macam he was part of some Avengers kind of thing was it?
He partnered with the guy. He partnered. He didn't. Well, he wasn't a sidekick. He was a partner. It was like All Might Year 1, something like that lah.
Alright, cool. Seterusnya Mofa juga menambah tapi tak logik juga Stain kalau semua kuat macam All Might bolehlah nak save semua orang tanpa perlu sidekick. Kes banyak mana cukup tangan. Okay, I guess that's why
Mofa mungkin dia misunderstand sikit Stein punya logik. Dia tak nak orang yang guna the hero ni jadi macam selebriti. Dia nak hero ni jadi macam polis, macam bomber, kerja tanpa recognition, betul-betul berbakti and betul-betul buat kerja. Dia tak nak macam heroes ni
The
jadi
celebrity
politik.
culture. Yang sekarang dah jadi macam celebrity culture.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is the important part. He wants more police-like heroes rather than Kim Kardashian-like heroes.
Mau lady lah. Basically mau lady tu macam Kim Kardashian.
Kan?
Yeah.
Something like that lah. He doesn't
Itulah.
want fake heroes. That's why they acknowledge Deku, they acknowledge All Might.
Okay. Seterusnya Mofa bertanya, terkenal dekat Telegram Abang ni. Saya tak tahu, saya tengok guna WandaVision je. Saya tak tahu apa-apa. Spoilers. Seterusnya Iqbal Lee mengatakan, kalau semua orang kuat macam All Might, nanti jadi macam Viltrumite pula. Jeng jeng jeng. Invincible. Korang kena tengok Invincible. One of the best US animation. Basically it's a comic book but it feels like a manga. So yes, definitely. 144 issues. Fucking good. Kalau tak boleh tengok.
Aku ingat mini je.
Ting. Okay, so Carol Amri menambah last comment for this segment. Yang Lemillion jadi intern tu, dia kata was from the first movie. Aku tak tengok first movie, so aku tak boleh komen. Kau dah ingat tak? Was there Lemillion under an agency in the first movie?
Tak ada. I totally don't recall. Aku rasa All Might tak ada agency. That was yang kita cakap tadi lah, dia partner dia.
Ya, Night Eye lah ada agency ya. Okay.
Night Eye ada agency, All Might ada partner.
Okay, so dengan itu kita akan ke babak terakhir kita yang super heavy. Malam ni perbincangan agak lama ya, we're about to hit 2 hours, which is a record untuk My Hero Academia. So babak menarik kita yang kelima adalah agenda Meta Liberation Army, di mana Endeavour akhirnya berjaya menguraikan kod rahsia Hawks di dalam buku Meta Liberation War. Ada 2 kod. Kod pertama daripada Hawks. For now, the commission has received my code, but Endeavour doesn't seem like the type to notice. Maybe I was a little too roundabout. With a number of heroes part of the Liberation Front, the commission won't want this to be made public. Seterusnya, komen kedua adalah daripada Endeavour. The enemy is, ini adalah kod yang dia akhirnya dapat pecahkan by reading the second word in every highlighted sentence. The enemy is the Liberation Army. They number over 100,000. In 4 months, they'll rise to action. So, soalan aku kepada para panelis, pada pendapat anda, adakah Meta Liberation Army ini mempunyai kaitan dengan satu daripada 3 grup ini? Nombor 1, serpihan pengikut All for One, ataupun nombor 2, agenda sebenar Dabi, ataupun nombor 3, Shigaraki and the League of Villains. Jika option 1 ataupun 3 benar, mengapakah beberapa hero seperti Slide and Go rela menjadi ahli Meta Liberation Army? So, pada pendapat kau Shaz, which one? Is this a serpihan All for One, ataupun Dabi's true agenda, ataupun part of Shigaraki and the League of Villains? Silakan.
Aku akan pilih B. None of the above. dia sebenarnya is some to me lah. Dia tak ada, is actually a group. Dia macam cult tau. It's a group of people who are being misled by somebody at the top yang kita tak kenal lagi. So kalau katakan orang ke atas tu is really penyokong All for One, then of course dia akan sooner or later mungkin akan ada link dengan Dabi punya group or dengan Shigaraki punya group. Tapi the group itself tu, the army itself, I think is being misled. That means they believe they are fighting for a righteous cause, but they are actually helping an evil punya organisation or leaders lah.
So dia gunakan buku tu sebagai rallying call, the Meta Liberation War tu. It's like apa yang
dia memang Dia memang betul-betul macam okay, kita tengok contoh in Malaysia real life punya situation. Dulu there was a group of called akan. Dah lama dah dalam radar polis tu sebagai kumpulan terpesong, tapi dia very peaceful, but something triggered them tau, and then they went to action. So dalam kes ni is probably a small group of religious people or people who dislike the way hero society works, but the stain punya incident became popular across the internet, so they tumpang atas benda tu, just like Shigaraki punya group pun tumpang juga. But Shigaraki when the chaos punya route, jom let's destroy the world, you know, because all for one. This guy is like, aku dah ada organisation dah that believes in me, so why not I kembangkan benda tu. That's it lah. So there is some links secara tak langsung, but I think it's a misled punya group.
Dia macam MLM yang tersakiti lah. Okay. So Anri, sebagai seorang pembaca manga, apa pendapat kau?
If Shazli kata all none of the above, I choose E, all of the above, because regardless if you're all for one, Shigaraki, Dabi, or Mr. Army, anyone yang tak puas hati dengan hero society, they all want one thing, they want change. So I don't think they care about justice. I think they just want to change the system. So regardless of the truth, dia kena they're going to they just want to change the system. They don't care at this point. Ketidakpuasan dah capai tahap maksima. So they want to change it. If you have 100,000 people with quirks and wanted to fight against the society, right? There's something wrong with the society. 100,000 kan is like 10 times the number askar apa tu yang pecahan Al-Qaeda tu yang
yang dekat Malaysia, dekat Johor.
Yang rampas kuasa dekat Iraq, northern Iraq tu, what you call it, the army of the Leviathan semua tu. I forgot the name. There's a lot of 100,000 is a lot. 100,000 is basically macam number tentera Jepun yang serang Melaya apa 1942 something like that.
That's the answer. Fact check by Mofa. ISIS. ISIS.
Stadium Shah Alam cannot fit 100,000 people in the stands.
Yeah, it shows you how bad things are. If you have 100,000 people.
Soalan is this only happening in Japan? Or is it the whole world? Aku tak faham. Do quirks only exist in Japan or the whole world?
The quirks is a global thing. 100,000 people tak puas hati is in Japan because they didn't say it's a world team tau. They just say it's within our area of influence tau, which is basically Japan, modern day Japan.
Does the series ever go outside of Japan by chapter 319?
Okay, mild spoiler. Chapter 319, things are so bad in Japan right now, they're waiting heroes from overseas to come and help. Yeah, so this system is not just in Japan, it's also other countries juga lah. And in this case 100,000 is basically in Japan yang tak puas hati tau. 100,000 out of penduduk Jepun, which is what, 200 million, something, 180 million.
Yeah.
Okay, it's still not that high. It's like 1%, 1 or 2% tak puas hati. So it's a big figure.
It's interesting. That's interesting. So kita ada komen awal daripada pukul 9.28 malam tadi, which aku tak boleh baca until segmen ni. So I'll try and read it now. So kita ada soalan daripada Facebook. Khairul Amri bertanya is it 4 months later yang dimention oleh double agent Hawk akan terjadi di anime atau jalan cerita akan terjadi dalam upcoming movie. The one where he said, the enemy is the Liberation Army. They number over 100,000. In 4 months, they will rise to action. So he's referring to the trailer yang kita tengok minggu lepas, yang World Heroes Mission tu. I think that is a subplot yang tak ada dalam manga kan?
No. We argued before what happens in the movie could be non-canon though. It's just added for extra content yang tak mungkin be relevant to the series tau. Whatever Hawks mentioned about the 4 months time, I think it's just for the manga anime series lah.
Oh, so yang kulit biru lepas tu semua pakai hood tu, that is not the Metal Liberation Army lah. That is another cult lah.
Maybe we haven't watched the movie yet. Maybe it's just a cult outside, or maybe it's a offshoot of the Metal Liberation Army from Japan, tapi ada chapter from other countries. At this point, it's all speculation.
In the trailer, it said there was global attacks everywhere in the world done by this cult. And then Deku only has 2 hours to solve this shit. Or not, Hero Society will be crumbled. Aku macam, kimak lah. Isn't that the plot that we are gonna see in the next part?
I can confirm you it's what happens in chapter 319 happens on its own, not because by the movie. I don't think it's caused by the movie.
Mofa pun cakap yang tu geng ajaran sesat. Dia orang kata dalam trailer.
Yeah.
Alright,
Tapi
so
next,
yeah.
You pun answer the question actually. 2 hours or the Hero Society will fall. So it's still standing at that point of time.
Cuma
So,
itulah movie tu keluar bulan Ogos and second core is not going to be finished yet tau.
Yeah,
It's
so
like
dia
dalam
macam
the last few weeks
lah.
So dia macam, aku macam kalau ni tak canon, Papi, why you releasing it before second core ends when you have an ongoing storyline about the beginning of the destruction of Hero Society or not? We don't know lah. Tapi ada Metal Liberation Army, ada buku ideologi Metal Liberation War. So dia macam kau nak cerita tentang Palpatine, tiba-tiba kau pergi masukkan Snoke. Macam apa hal? That's two different trilogies.
Kau tunjuk Snake mati, lepas tu kau baru start the book that he died in. Like, kau dah mati ke Muhammad ni?
Oh, lepas tu Iqbal Lee menjawab, money. Itulah sebabnya. Dan juga sama juga Khairul Amri juga, money. Babi ya. Work harder.
Tengok boleh lah.
Tak ada lah. Macam kalau benda tu tak canon, dia macam, ni macam, aku tengok Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for fun. Pasal dia bukan part of MCU. 7 season bukan part of MCU. It's for fun, bro. Money.
Tapi banyak orang suka kot. The experience of watching at the cinema, itu yang penting.
Betul lah. By the way, Mofa ada cakap, ini semua akan terjawab bila tengok anime nanti. Sebab ada sebab dia. What?
Manga.
Spoilers, aku tak nak tahu. Kita baru episod 14, kita still ada macam 12 lagi episod to go. 12 more minggu.
Dalam satu dicuti kan?
Itu kan. Mofa juga mengatakan dia ada tease dalam manga, tapi dalam movie All Might masa movie first tu dia duduk dekat luar negara, belajar dekat sana. Aku tak tengok, so aku kena kejar balik first movie. All Might pun first year jadi pro hero dekat US. So soalan Khairul Amri tadi adalah berkaitan dengan All Might ada partner.
Ya.
Ada.
Dalam first movie.
Ya,
dia ada tunjuk.
So it was an American.
Partner tu jadi researcher after that, tak silap aku.
Yes. The city, artificial city island apa yang the story of the first movie takes place, focus on dia punya partner and dia punya daughter. So we can confirm, even if it's canon, that All Might has at least one partner and one sidekick, Night Eye. Agency wise dia tak ada, but All Might has a lot of money on him. He drives a sports car. Yeah.
By the way, masa Vigilante, was agencies already in effect, this prequel series?
Oh yeah, agency has been part of the system. You have to have a license if you want to do multiple macam jobs, right? you need to have an agency, hire heroes as your sidekick or your partners, whatever it is lah. We've seen this in the series multiple times. Basis
Okay.
Genius has an agency, looks like Endeavor. I punya pun macam Endeavor. It's basically macam standardized already.
It sounds like the K-pop industry, sial.
K-pop is more brutal.
Yes.
K-pop is more
With
brutal.
like orang bunuh diri lah and shit like that, fucked up shit, man. So Iqbal Lee ada mengatakan first partner All Might tu provide All Might dengan support item, and then Khairul menjawab dia sempat backstab All Might sekejap. Fuck, I have to watch this first movie, man.
I don't think it was that big. Ada tak silap aku, tapi macam tak adalah macam like
It's like nah. Okay.
tak ada, not that bad.
Dia macam aku makan sandwich kau dalam fridge. Sorry. Macam tu je lah backstab ni.
Kau tengok je lah, nanti spoiler pula.
Okay. Kat mana aku nak cari? Kat Netflix ada tak?
Could be.
Aku tak ingat.
Sedih. Susah betul nak cari benda. Dah lah nak kena cari yang alih bahasa. Yang alih bahasa. Kalau tidak Japanese aku tak faham tu. Japon. Okey, seterusnya komen terakhir. Mufah mengatakan Vigilante tu 2 tahun sebelum My Hero Academia ya. So tak adalah jauh sangat. Oh, okey. So Aizawa ni barulah jadi cikgu. Aku kan macam 10 tahun pasal cerita tentang partner dia asyik drop hints je. Lepas tu jangan cerita tentang partner aku. Aku macam fuck, partner kau siapa sial? I want to know.
Dah 10 tahun kan kalau macam tu kan. Like kau tak boti lagi ke boleh 10 tahun tu kan.
Itulah. Kemudian Mofah memberi hint kalau nak cari ada kat Telegram. Okay. Aku akan guna WandaVision aku dan cuba mencarinya. Seterusnya ni ini kan. Yes. Okay. Kita espousekan benda yang halal tapi nanti kita cari. Okey, dengan itu berakhirlah segmen ini dan kita akan ke harapan kami untuk episod 15. Okey, jadi episod 15 ini agak spoiler ya. Ini bukan harapan untuk episod minggu depan ya. Pasal diorang ada cuti 1 minggu. Shaz, kalau kau boleh explain kenapa ada cuti dan tak ada episod minggu depan?
Aku pun terjumpa dekat diorang punya official fan site dia that apparently this coming Saturday diorang ada like a festival, a day long festival show or something. So they postpone minggu tu punya episode to the following week. Itu je lah yang aku tahu. And it has happened before with other anime lain, so I'm not surprised lah. Macam masa aku tengok Gundam 00 and Bill Fighters pun ada dia orang macam postpone seminggu for specific macam ingat tak macam kita raya-raya Aidilfitri kan? On that day habis lah kau punya 5pm 5:30 punya show.
Tak ada G.I. Joe, tak ada Ultraman.
Itulah. Itu tak apa. The next day when dia sambung balik, especially macam yang cerita yang everyday ada kan, to be continued last week dah tak ada. Mana pergi?
Tak pandai susun sial. Macam tu lah. So adakah ini Golden Week? Bukan, aku tak tahu. Aku tak pernah pergi Jepun masa Golden Week. But this is not the Golden Week holiday, is it? Alright.
Golden Week around May or March, tak silap aku.
Oh, May or March. Oh, maksudnya spring lah, bukan summer lah. Okay. So personally, judul episod minggu depan adalah One Thing at a Time, dan ada quote yang important daripada Deku yang dalam preview yang dia mengatakan, as we continue our work studies at Endeavor Agency, Kachan, Todoroki and I face the things we have to work on. I must learn to control my power and be able to perform at my best. It's okay to go slowly. I'm definitely moving forward. The accumulation of that will lead to becoming the greatest hero. Plus Ultra. So harapan aku kita akan melihat Deku gradually learn more about his, sama ada Black Whip ke, All Might dia dah under control lah, but his 6 untapped powers. Although I don't think it's gonna happen masa dalam arc ni lah. Shaz, apakah spekulasi liar kau?
Aku rasa by the end of the season, Deku will be able to guna dia punya Black Whip, because you tengok kan dia punya glove tu design dah baru kan, and dia ada slot for everything knuckle tu. for all the Black Whip to come out. Cuma yang aku curious tu is what will Bakugo dengan Todoroki will need to face. Sebab Deku kita nampak tau what is his problem yang dia kena overcome. Dia punya mental punya barrier and dia punya inability to use Black Whip. Aku rasa by interaction with one of the sidekicks, dia akan jadi lebih macam like, kadang-kadang aku tak boleh nak fikir banyak sangat. Aku kena be a bit like Bakugo, rely dalam hati dia. And mungkin Bakugo, ni speculation lah, mungkin akan diajar kau kenalah membaca lebih or be a bit like Deku, which is quite funny lah because they are like, dia punya fighting style kan is a bit of a yin and yang kontra kan. So satu tu rely on book smart, satu tu pure instinct. So mungkin there is things that they have to rely or learn from each other lah. Tapi Shoto takkan dia dengan bapak dia punya cerita je.
But kalau kau nampak in this episode pun macam ayah dia macam I only wanted Shoto.
Itulah kan. Hey everybody, welcome to the Todoroki hero agency. Macam aku nak sambut korang lah, buang masa aku. Macam sial. Macam like it's so obvious like, hey buzz the blouse kan. Terus buka masa. But yeah, I think that will be the interesting part lah. But that is for them three tau. Sekarang ni the real question is, are we going to see, sebab dalam preview trailer tu dia tunjuk a bunch of people sitting around and Hawk is standing in the center. Dia report kat siapa tu? That will be the best part. Dalam outro, the preview for next week, he is standing in front of a desk with a lot of people who are hiding in the shadows. So, who are these people?
I think it's the Meta Liberation Army, bro.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be nice. Anri, apakah harapan anda untuk 2 minggu dari sekarang? Bukan minggu depan. Silakan.
Harapan nombor 1 saya is I hope to see more waifus lah. I think this episode banyak sausage. Mostly male interactions.
Yeah.
I hope
Mama
there's
Deku
more waifu next. Yeah, mak dia, and we don't even have we have a macam macam we get to see her when she was young, masa dia muda kurus lagi kan. So that's something. Mak dia. But I hope next episode we get to see more waifu, we get to see more of the meta liberation people. I'm not so looking forward to the improvements Shoto, Deku and Bakugo is going to get from Endeavor, because having read the manga at this point, most of the major upgrade in their performance happens during and after the shit incident. So I'm more looking forward to plot and interaction wise punya development.
I guess this was just a way to get them involved in the Darby storyline. Them coming over to the agency.
Yeah, I think we're more interested in the villains now than the heroes. We've seen them train before during the internship. Maybe it's just me. I'm more looking forward to see dynamics of the villains in this series.
Meta Liberation Army. So Iqbal Lee pun ada cakap, Burning mantap. Tak tahu pula rambut api dia hijau. Yes, dia macam member of Justice League, nama dia Fire. So
yeah,
pretty cool. So that is your waifu lah. That is the only waifu in the agency though.
She's not Fire. Fire is different.
Okay. Kita ada beberapa komen. Pertama, Badrul Hisham daripada YouTube mengatakan, dekat Netflix ada first movie. Yes.
There you go.
Okay. Aku akan tonton. Seterusnya Mofa mengatakan, harapan aku nak biar Shaz mind blown next episode. Tapi pasal postpone next week lah. 2 weeks lah. And then Khairul Amri juga mengatakan macam semua anime akan cuti minggu ni, even One Piece pun delay. Wow.
Ada benda
Okay.
besar tu.
Maybe
Belum Olimpik lagi kan?
cuti umum. Aku rasa I don't think it's Olympic. Is it Olympic?
I thought it was delayed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
And then kategori mengatakan, season baru nak keluar. Sebenarnya dah habis season, nak masuk 3 bulan for seasoning anime for new anime. Tak faham. I don't understand this sentence. Anybody can explain it?
Gap. Every 3 months there is the this is the fall punya anime. This is the summer punya anime. So generally you want to finish from start to end. You don't want to exit that 3 month punya gap. So kalau dia dah terlepas, dia akan dia akan compete dengan the new anime starting on that season.
Oh, so the new anime will start, don't care. Korang tak habis, aku tak kisah, aku nak start. Like that, is it?
Tak, aku rasa sebab COVID ni, so some of the timetable akan bergaduh lah. So initially you are pushing mungkin untuk winter punya time dia selalu more on comedy, heartwarming ni. Tiba-tiba ada penghujung My Hero Academia for example tengah bergaduh-gaduh lagi. Siapa nak tengok aku punya cerita lawak-lawak family gather around the fire place punya anime when there is the finale of MHA, Mama ni akan mati. Habis lah your first 1-2 episode tu. Just like movies, dia orang cakap, oh what movie is coming out? Avengers, Infinity War, kita postpone seminggu or 2 minggu ataupun seminggu awal because they don't want to have that clash. Kalau tidak, dia rugi because the studios pun they compete among themselves juga.
Betul. Kind of make sense. Seterusnya Iqbali mengatakan, tapi memang biasa kena postpone dekat Jepun antara sebab dia ada live sukan, festival, bencana, any breaking news whatsoever. Okay. Dan Bang Fah mengatakan, Black Whip, ayo! Deku ni dah jadi macam Spider-Man. Dia guna Black Whip tu macam Spider-Web je. Aku tengok, spoiler. And then Golden Week, Iqbal mengatakan, the Golden Week is a collection of 4 national holidays within 7 days. 29 April to 5th May annually. Dan
Betul, best.
Yes, Khairul Amri mengatakan Olympic di Tokyo after Euro, maybe in August. Oh, interesting. Okeylah, dengan itu berakhirlah segmen kita untuk minggu ini. Terima kasih kepada para panelis kita, Shazli American serta Anri Alwi. Terima kasih juga kepada korang kerana setia menonton. It looks like the second core of season 5 is going to be interesting and things are getting darker, so I look forward to that. I look forward to more complexity and peperangan ideologi dalam My Hero Academia nanti. Apakah harapan korang untuk season 5 second core ini? Tell us in the comment section below. Terima kasih kerana menonton. Kita ada show-show lain. Esok kita bakal membincangkan Rick and Morty. So kalau korang suka sci-fi, you should definitely check it out. Season 5 episode 2. Seterusnya hari Khamis, selalunya kita cover Superman and LOIS. Tapi kat Amerika pun ada cuti 1 minggu. So kita akan cover Shang-Chi second trailer. Friday kita akan bincangkan tentang LOKI episode 4. Hopefully payoff akan terjadi. Kalau tidak, hampir akan jadi, aku tak tahu. Aku just episode 3 was really terlalu banyak filler. So I hope episode 4 pays off. But yes, hari Isnin Star Wars The Bad Batch and setiap hari Selasa My Hero Academia. So majalah fandom untuk negara. See you guys in the next episode of BuzzPOP hari ini. Good night.
Okay. Bye-bye.
And ending broadcast in 3, 2, 1.